If you feel like the world has gone a little alien crazy in the last few weeks, you are not imagining it. Between former President Obama, going viral for saying aliens are real.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
President Trump officially ordering the Pentagon to declassify alien and UAP files.
Are we alone? We may soon know, as the Trump administration is ordering the release of all government documents on aliens and UFOs.
Just days ago, the conversation has officially moved out of the basement and into the Oval Office. But here's the weird part. While politicians are arguing over classified files and pilots are reporting impossible craft in our skies, the scientific community is still saying there is zero evidence that extraterrestrials exist. How can both of those things be true? How can the government be disclosing info on something science says we haven't yet found? Today we are looking at where this idea actually came from, why the UFO level is so confusing, and the one piece of Martin rod that might actually prove everyone right. Let's get into it. We tend to think of aliens as a 1950s Hollywood invention, all little green men and flying saucers, but the truth, we've been obsessed with these for over 2,500 years. Back in ancient Greece, philosophers like Democritus argued that if the universe is made of infinite atoms, then it's mathematically impossible for air to be the only place where those atoms team up to make life. But then Aristotle happened. He convinced the world for nearly 2,000 years that the earth was the center of everything and that the heavens were perfect and uninhabitable. It wasn't until the 1600s when guys like Galileo looked through the first telescope and saw mountains on the moon that we realized, wait, those aren't just lights in the skies, those are places. This is where the confusion starts in 2026. You hear a pilot or a politician say, we have evidence of UFOs, and they are right. But UFO or UAP is a military term, not a biological one. To a pilot, evidence is a radar lock on an object moving at Mach 10 without a sonic boom. That's a physical fact of an unidentified phenomenon. But to a scientist, that's just a weird data point. Science has a much higher bar. To say aliens are real, a scientist doesn't want a video. They want a biosignature. They want to see a gas in an atmosphere that only life produces, or a piece of metal with an isotope ratio that doesn't exist in our solar system. Until we have a handshake or a microbe under a microscope, science officials says we have lots of mysteries but zero proof. So if there's no proof, why is the curiosity at an all-time high right now? Because we are closer than we've ever been. Let's look at Mars. The Perseverance rover recently found those Leopard spores on a rock called Cheyava Falls. On Earth, those spores are caused by microbes living off chemical reactions. It's the biggest maybe in the history of space exploration. Then there's the James Webb Telescope. It's currently scanning exoplanets, worlds orbiting other stars. It recently detected methane and carbon dioxide on a planet called K2-18b. The right amount, that's essentially the smell of a living ocean. And finally, the politics. The 2026 Disclosure Act isn't just about aliens, it's about transparency. The government is finally admitting that there are things in our airspace that they cannot explain, whether those are secret drones from a rival nation or something non-human. The door is finally open. This brings us to the Fermi Paradox. Is the universe is billions of years old and full of trillions of planets. Where's everybody? Some scientists think we are hitting a great filter. The life usually wipes itself out before it can travel the stars. Others think of the zoo hypothesis, that they are out there, but they have collectively agreed not to talk to us until we stop fighting each other over borders and start looking at the stars. Which one do you believe? So where does that leave us? We have gone from ancient Greek philosophers dreaming of other worlds to 2066, where we have NASA rovers recently staring at Leopard spores on Mars. That might be ancient alien life. Is there scientific proof yet? No. We don't have a body, we don't have a crash-landed saucer, and we don't have a confirmed radio signal. Science is a slow, careful process and requires extraordinary evidence for an extraordinary claim. We have military pilots reporting objects that defy physics. We have world leaders finally admitting they don't know everything in our skies. And we have a universe so massive that it seems almost arrogant to think we are the only ones here. We are living in a generation that might finally get the answer. With all the recent 2026 disclosures and the discoveries on Mars, do you think we are being prepared for the truth? Or do you think this is all just advanced human technology that we are misidentifying?